Hey folks, Red Labor here. It's too hot today, but I want to talk about Rush Limbaugh versus Ice-T and gun control. Lately, I've been kind of getting into gun control in this video series, and I'm trying not to talk about gun control, but it just can't be helped today. I was listening to the Young Turks this morning, and St. Eucurk, I believe I can never get his name right, on his internet radio show. Brilliant guy. Love listening to his humor and his analysis on things. And he talked about Rush Limbaugh criticizing Ice-T for his opposition to gun control, which comes across as odd because Rush Limbaugh is against gun control as much as Ice-T. But when Ice-T made his explanation on the basis of the U.S. Constitution and to fight tyranny, somehow Rush Limbaugh tried to make it an ethnic slur on him. Now, as much as I don't like a lot of the talk shows out there, Glenn Beck is kooky. Some of these local right-wing talk shows are crazy too. Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, the whole gamut. I would say that maybe it could be safely assumed, as crazy as he is, as bonkers as he is, Glenn Beck is not a racist. Bill Riley is not a racist. And I definitely don't think Sean Hannity is a racist. But I, for sure as hell, think that Rush Limbaugh is a fucking bigot. And the thing about it is, Rush Limbaugh really just listening to his show over the years, for those that love Rush Limbaugh who are conservatives, you guys, it gives conservatism a bad name. Rush Limbaugh pushed the envelope as far as he can to try to get away with making various racial slurs over the years. Now, and I'm not one to throw around the term racist lightly. I'm not that kind of a person on the left that makes the knee-jerk indictment of racist. But Rush Limbaugh pushes the envelope, and one can't help but construe that he plays on racial fears and racial themes on his show as much as he can get away with. And he really was putting down Ice-T. And I like what Ice-T had to say about Rush Limbaugh. That he was a piece of shit. And Rush Limbaugh is a piece of shit. And I mean, occasionally it's a bad thing to do, but to attack an individual verbally. But some people have it coming to them. And Rush Limbaugh is a piece of shit. I don't like rap music, and I'm not a fan of rap music. Can't say I'm a fan of Ice-T. I'm 43 years old. I got gray hair. I grew up in the Reagan era, anti-Reagan, of course. Being all into the punk rock, new wave music, some things never changed. I listened to the Dead Kennedys then. I listen to the Dead Kennedys today. I listened to Billy Bragg then. I listen to Billy Bragg today. So I'm still the same kind of punk rocker I was back in the 80s, with just a little more moderate sensibilities, although probably further left, but a little wiser. But Rush Limbaugh, as I said, is a racist. Pure and simple. One can't help but what is obvious. I remember back in 1990, he was on Crossfire, CNN's Crossfire, and he was criticizing Nelson Mandela, and telling the black community that they had more important things to worry about than South Africa. Now, that also is racist. Saying that a black person's concern about human right abuse in South Africa was not important, but he certainly favored going into other places where it wasn't in America's national interest to go into, i.e. Iraq, Afghanistan in the last 10 years, and he sure as hell was in favor of Contra aid to the right-wing rebels in Nicaragua during the 1980s, when it was not in America's national interest to support some of these right-wing thugs called the Contras. As imperfect as the Sandinistas were, they certainly were the lesser of a broad range of questionables that existed in the conflict in Nicaragua. So, Rush Limbaugh is very selective about what people should be concerned and not concerned about. But getting back to what I was saying, Rush Limbaugh is more than just your typical Republican right-wing blowhard. He also goes for what's the worst instincts in today's culture. So, it's worse than God, gays, and guns. He still is hung up on race and gets mad when those who fight against racism and for racial justice, he criticizes them. But he seemed to have no problem putting down other people on the basis of race. So, Rush Limbaugh, you really are just so damn predictable. I'm sorry, I got a sore throat. You are so damn predictable. I mean, you are comical. I mean, because you're not to be taken seriously, and you're a hypocrite. You say you move if Obamacare passed, you'll move to Costa Rica. Well, why isn't your ass in Costa Rica? And guess what? Costa Rica has a single-payer system, a system that's more radical than Barack Obama proposed, which was initiated by Romney Care in Massachusetts, championed by congressional Republicans in the 1990s, and started with the Heritage Foundation. So Obamacare is really Republican, but I just wanted to go and mention that. And when you had that fake heart attack in Hawaii a few years ago, and you praised the system in Hawaii, well, Massachusetts wasn't the first state to have individual mandates. Hawaii set up that system in 1974, was the first place, and probably is where the Heritage Foundation got the idea. You praise Obamacare, you dumb fuck. I mean, you praise Obamacare. And one reason to be against Obamacare is because you in the back door praised it. Anyway, I'm glad that my friend Reverend Dwight Welch, who lives in Sheridan, Wyoming, in the First Congregational Church in Sheridan, Wyoming, put you in your place several years ago on your show. He put you in your place on Rush Limbaugh. And Reverend Welch, thank you for doing that. Okay, folks, this is all there is for me right now. I'm sure I'll think of something fun to talk about next time. So, comment away. Take care. Have a great day. Ciao.